Alright, we're here for another one, yeah? I just recently made a video covering how I use OneNote to actually take notes while I am watching match videos for fighting games, and I felt the need to just go on ahead and kind of do a quick follow-up video for it and just teach you guys some more tips and tricks, you know, to kind of set up OneNote for yourself amongst many other things, because OneNote is a very versatile app that is just stock on your PC. Right now, the version I will be using is OneNote for Windows 10. You can use the default one that is stock on your computer, but for this video, once again, we're just gonna stick to OneNote for Windows 10. So without further ado, let's just go straight into it and let's learn some tricks. So we're here in OneNote. This is actually the set of notes that I used for the previous video. What we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna start straight from the beginning, right? So we're gonna go to the top here, the very top left. We're gonna do add notebook. You don't have to type in all caps, so we're gonna go fighting game notes with a Z. It's pretty cool, right? Boom. All right, so we have our notebook, fighting game notes. You know, we're here. How do we use this? What do we gonna do here? Simple. The left section here, we're gonna add sections. Sections are essentially what you can use to title it by game. So let's say you're playing, you know, Tekken 8. We're gonna right click here, rename section, and let's go with Tekken 8, right? Let's say that you are playing Street Fighter as well. Right click, new section, and you go Street Fighter 6. Okay, and just for the sake of, just for the video, I'm gonna add one more game, 2XKO, right? Dash Project L. A lot of people have a problem with the name, but that aside, right? Check it. So we got all this here, right? We got our sections. We want to learn a thing or two. Let's say we're playing Street Fighter, right? You can also click and drag to reorder them, so you know. So doesn't matter the order, it's up to you. In this case, I'm dragging Street Fighter to the top. So let's say Street Fighter is our primary game. You know, it helps to have it at the top, make it more organized, right? So now we have an untitled page. So let's say that you are playing, I don't know, let's say you're playing Luke, right? So we can title whatever you want. Very top here, Luke notes. So we have our very first note. Great. What else can we do here? Lots. So let's say you just want to take some notes on, you know, probably the best normals and things of that nature, right? Just like any other typing program, you know, you have your bold, your italic, your underline here in the top left. You also have your font choices. You know, you can change to whatever you want, right? Pretty straightforward. With that being said, so what I like to do is I like to use the arrow keys. So shift and the greater than. You create that. And then you can press space bar. And you can actually start creating, it's kind of like your own bullet points without having to use the bullet points. And what I'll go ahead and do for you guys here also, because I know it's probably a little bit small, but I'll go ahead and try to zoom in here for you guys. Here to view. Got a little zoom in here. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more so things are more visible. So we're here. Or even if we didn't want to do that, we can leave it out here. And what we can do is we can just change the font size to something a lot more larger, where things are a little bit more visible. You know what I mean? Right? So you can adjust that to wherever you see fit. So just for the sake of the video, we'll just go for an 18-point font, so it's like a lot more visible for you guys. So yeah, you do have that, right? So let's say we're taking notes once again on our normals. You know, you can come here and be like, you know, bold, Luke's best normals to use in neutral, right? On bold, and you can go here, right? And then you can go say standing, right? Press enter, Then you press tab, and now create like an open bullet point. And from there, you can be like ST for standing, MP for medium punch, ST heavy punch, you know, standing medium kick, right? And pretty easy, pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy, right? But let's say you want to take it another step further, you know, you can always add more like addendums to it, right? So let's say you want to add notes, you can press tab again, and now it creates a square bullet point, and it can be like, let's say an addendum to stand medium kick, not special cancelable, right? So you can make a mental note to yourself, you know, within your notes. Well, basically, this allows you to make another note about whatever it is that you want, right? And you can also click and drag to highlight it, and then you can actually highlight with, you know, a color that you like. So obviously white is not ideal here. This is not visible, right? So we'll highlight that, boom. So we'll get rid of that, but we can highlight it again. You know, use like a yellow, something to kind of note, or let's say just for what it's worth, you know, red, because it's kind of important, right? And anything that's like, you know, special cancelable, you know, maybe you want to highlight those in green, right? Because green means go, right? Boom, special cancelable, right? Boom. Then you can make the addendum, press enter, tab again, special cancelable, okay. So you see what I'm saying? So it makes it a lot easier for you to kind of like color code things, so you can know what's, you know what's what, you know, and this is just normals, right? My favorite thing about OneNote personally is the fact that you're not just confined here to this box, right? You can actually come out, click outside of that tab, right? Because this box can contain this, right? And let's say you wanted to take extra notes about, you know, these normals, for example, right? You can create the box, and then you can start a whole new section, you know what I mean, of like smaller notes, right? So we need to readjust the font size. So let's say we want to have something a little bit smaller, not too small. This is like an 18 point on this side, so we'll go to 16 point here. And let's say you want to say, you know, these normals are what I should be using, you know, maybe enter around, let's say 75% of the time in neutral, right? Not too bad. And you also have a I know it's a bit hard to see because it's right here, right? Boom. Now you do have a little arrow here that allows you to readjust the size of all of this, you know, so it makes it a little bit easier. And you can move these things around, because I'm a very messy note taker, and I love that OneNote lets me personally be messy with my notes. So this is like a godsend for someone like me. So if you're a very messy note taker like myself, and you just like to have just words all over the place, you'll love this app. So with that being said, you know, you can also do the same thing again. You can highlight this, right? So you can highlight it with whatever color you want, maybe another green, maybe something like this, like a deeper green, you know, which is really nice. So that just makes things just, again, a lot easier. What's neat about all of this here in particular is if you do have the if you have an iPad and you get OneNote on the iPad, you can actually write on it with the tablet stylus. So that's also pretty neat to use as well. I'll just kind of put that out there. So we got some notes here. This is pretty decent. You know, we can just keep adding things and keep piling things on. This is fine for right now, just for the video example. So we see what the type of things we can do, right? You do have your bullet points up here at the top, right? You also do have your numbering. If you do numbering, it will actually auto number itself. So if you go like 1, Luke is pretty cool, right? We're gonna fast so we don't have this highlighted in red. Maybe it should be in red because, I never mind, Luke is pretty cool. You know, Luke is pretty cool. Then it'll just auto kind of do that. You know, it'll just follow suit. Right, so you don't have to worry about coming up here and clicking on this. You can just type in 1 period and just go from there. And it'll be the same if you go 2 period and just go. It'll still pick up, will pick up the combo, enter, oh, straight to number 3 from here. So no matter what, as long as you have the numbered, it's gonna follow suit, okay? Just keep that in mind. You also have your indentations, but to be honest with you, these aren't things you will be using very much. So don't stress these too much. And you'll tinker around with the app itself, so just keep that in mind. Now, one of the neat things here is you can add other things, right? So we're gonna come back and we're gonna add another page, right? Right, so we're gonna come out here, we're gonna add another page, and now let's make another page called Luke matchups, right? So we can do the exact same thing again, but what we're gonna do is something a little bit different. So we do have this here. We can make another set of notes and say, you know, I'm gonna come over here, we're gonna copy and paste all this over, just so we have something that we can kind of use as a foundation, which I would clearly recommend for you guys to do. Boom. So Luke matchups, right? So then we'll just say Luke's best to worst matchups, right? Then you can come in here, do the exact same thing again. Boom, come out of here, erase. You can go, you know, best matchup. I don't know, we could say Jamie. Addendum for Jamie. Sad face. A happy face because you play Luke. Right? So, and you can just do this for every other character, right? Now, what you can do here as well to kind of make this more uniform, let's say you play more than one character. What you can do is come here, right click on the Luke matchups, and then we can click right here, make subpage. Boom. So now what that does is it puts that into a drop down with the other note section, right? So we come in here, we can do that. It hides it. So let's say you had more, you know, characters that you play, right? I'm gonna add another page, and let's say you play Chun-Li notes, right? I'm gonna click, drag it out, boom, and it's gonna be separate. Add another page, Chun-Li videos. That's one thing we're gonna get into next, right? So we're gonna right click, we're gonna make subpage, right? Let's see, so we gotta do this, we gotta promote. Yeah, there we go. So sometimes the pages, they might get stuck underneath, so you will have to right click and then do make subpage, right? Right here. So you have to do promote to subpage, right? But when you want to make something go underneath it, you would have to do right click, make subpage. So right here saying promote subpage. So if I promote subpage, it'll be on its own. But then we want to make it a subpage. We want it to be underneath the Chun-Li notes, right? So we're gonna come here, boom, make it go back one. All right, cool. So we got that nice and neat, looks cool. I do want to add something really small here, now that I'm thinking about it. What you can do is you can take the Luke notes, right? So we have all our notes here for all of this. What we can do, Control A, I'm gonna copy, I'm gonna add another page, and then we're gonna add all that information in here, right? And then we'll just change this to Luke neutral tools, right? This way we can just use the first one as a header. You see what I'm saying, you guys? So the first one doesn't have to have anything in it per se, but it can work as just a header for your drop down menus. See, so we have Luke neutral tools, Luke matchups, same thing with the Chun-Li notes, etc., right? Now I want to get into another feature of this, and it is a really neat feature. So let's say we want to learn more about Chun-Li, right? Well, good thing for us is that the Capcom Cup just happened and there's lots of footage. So we can look at, I have a video here from Lashar, one of the Chun-Li players from Capcom Cup Top 16. So we can come in here and we can title this, right? Check this out. You guys are gonna love this, trust. This is one of the most beast mode features of this thing. So let's say we want to learn from Lashar. So we can say Lashar videos. What you can do, right? You can go to YouTube, copy any link for any video, okay? And what we can do, right here underneath it, we can right click, paste, and it will paste the video right in there. Now, this, you guys, is probably one of the coolest things in which you can do in here, is that you can actually watch the videos inside OneNote while it's embedded.
Shin versus Lashar, Dark Horse versus the Mad Scientist. Shout out to Steve and Wrench for that one. Uma versus Kusanagi, ending out the winner side. So man's got stuff named after him. That's how you know he's a champion out.
Now it's a little small here. I'll mute it here. But what we can do is we can actually make it bigger. So what you do is you click here on the little arrow here. You click there, and you can just drag it out. And you can watch your match videos right here in OneNote. It's a really neat thing here, and I love doing this for myself because it helps me kind of just isolate things, and I can learn a lot. I'll be able to type a lot of notes in. I'll be able to do a lot of different things. So it's super neat to be able to do this, and you can just stack and stack and stack videos in here and make it a lot easier on yourself instead of having to go to so many different places. Let's say there was a combo video you wanted for Chun-Li. You can put in the combo video and always have access to it. You can always go back and type out said combos. This way you have a visual representation, especially if there is no actual notation itself. You have a visual representation for the video, and you can also write it down in OneNote so you can feel more confident, because sometimes when you write things down you tend to remember it. So that would be a big reason to do that. But this is a super neat feature in which you can do, and it's something that I do a lot of. Yeah, you guys, it's super neat, man. I can't stress this enough. And there's even emoji support, right? So it's really neat. Like, you can add all kinds of different emojis. So take, for example, let's say you wanted to use a I don't know, check mark of some kind, just any emoji. You can always copy and paste it inside here and it'll just work. It's too good. Trust. But it's very, very simple. It seems like it could be complicated, but trust me, you guys, this is a super easy program to use. Again, you can add more notes to this here, just adding more notes to our Chun-Li videos section, right? It's just one of the most intuitive things for note taking that I've probably ever used. I'm used to using things like Google Sheets, Google Docs, Evernote and things like that, but I've been using OneNote for such a long time now that those other things are just kind of good for what they are. But I feel like to really personalize and make things more tailored to you, I think this is the best way to go. There's some other small tidbits I can teach you guys, such as, let's say that you are done watching this video. You can come up here, click this. You can add a to-do. So top right, to-do. Let's say, you want to make it a point that, you've already watched the Lashar video. You can click on it and bam. Now you know that you've watched it. You've already been through it, whatever. You can just add these little check boxes to anything in which that you want. So let's say you wanted to do, let's say we'll add another page. And let's say that you wanted to practice, you know, today's goals for rank matches. Bam. Let's see here. So we're gonna come back here. We're gonna add, make it a little bit larger. So we'll just do goals for ranked, and we'll say whatever date it is. So we'll use today's date, 3/7/2024. Whoops. 3/7/2024. 20. Minus 2024. Cool. All right. And let's say you wanted to do this here. We're gonna just keep adding goals, right? No jumping for 5 matches straight, right? Then we can add, then it'll auto add the to do, right? Or the checkbox. Let's see here, use less, wake up, DP. Use less, wake up, supers. Use less, drive impacts. And if you reach those goals for yourself, you know, boom, boom, boom. All right, we're still using drive impact a little too much, so we might want to leave that one alone. You know what I mean? And just be honest with yourself, of course, right? So you do have that that's there. This is one of the greater drop downs. And if you want to add like importance to these things, come down here, click that. This is an important one. All right, move this over. This is important. All right, we do not want to jump. All right, we want to use less DPs on wake up. This is important to us. Boom. All right, but now let's say we kept using DIs. You come over here, and we're just gonna remember that for later, right? Because at that point, it'll help you, you know. Or if you just screwed up, just put a question mark. What are you doing? You know what I mean? So it's very intuitive. There's just so many little things you can do, so many little knickknacks. So without making this too long, there is one more little trick I do want to teach you guys. You can go to view here in the top left and then switch background. You switch it to light mode or dark mode. Clearly, I work a lot at night, so definitely gonna go to dark mode. Just so you guys know that does exist. But definitely get in the program, kind of play around. You guys will find a lot of like utility here. If not, just use it as simply as possible and not stress about it. Just so you guys know also as well, to kind of close out here, you can use this on your mobile devices. I do use it for my cell phone sometimes. If I get an idea and I want to practice something or something's on my mind, I'll just jot it down, maybe some tech or something like that, or maybe I catch something on Twitter, I think it's kind of cool. You know, I'll drop it in the OneNote. You know, you can also use OneNote for Twitter stuff, you know what I mean? Like, there's no amount of different things in which that you can add to this program to help you learn. Okay, so that's gonna do it for me right there. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, please be sure to leave a like and a comment. Let me know how you guys feel about content like this. I definitely enjoy teaching you guys my little tips and tricks and what I use to try to improve in fighting games. Nothing to hide here, you guys. Just want you guys to do, you know, as best as you can, learn as much as you can, and be able to have a way to retain all that information without having to go, what? So don't forget, utilize it on your phone. Anyhow, that's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video. Take care, peace and love. Go learn a thing or two. Take some notes. All right, Kensou out. Peace.